Be firm, get organized, and discipline yourself. These are the fundamentals for transforming your life and strengthening your mind. Today I'm going to share with you 8 practical strategies tested by me that will help you get your house in order, cultivate genuine discipline, and stay focused even when distractions seem to dominate. I know you're tired of starting and stopping, of feeling like something is missing to really move forward. But real change happens when you stop waiting to be ready and start acting with consistency and structure every day. Now is the time to stop self-sabotage and take steps to build the life you deserve. Stay with me, because these 7 methods may be what you need to begin your transformation. Oh, and before you move on, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe. Method 1. Self-care and Stoic discipline. How often do you find yourself giving your all to others and neglecting to take care of yourself? We are tireless gardeners, watering the gardens of everyone around us, while our own space for growth withers in silence. This is a common trap in modern life. We are so dedicated to helping and serving others that we forget our own physical, mental, and emotional health. As Epictetus reminds us, if you want to progress, be content to appear ignorant and foolish in things that don't matter. This is Stoicism's call for true self-care. The path to discipline begins with caring for yourself. When we take care of ourselves, we are investing in our ability to be more effective in the world. This is not selfishness, but wisdom. How can we offer the best of ourselves if we are empty or exhausted? If our body is weak and our mind is scattered, even the best opportunities become a heavy burden. Building a rich and fulfilling life begins with the basics: sleeping well, respecting time, and protecting our energy. Seneca, in his depth, reminds us that life is what our thoughts make it. Therefore, by focusing on self-care, the world around us is transformed. We are able to make faster and more assertive decisions, to withstand pressure with serenity, and to say no without guilt. Because in the end, every yes given to others is a no given to ourselves. And the opposite is also true. True balance begins with you. It's curious how we devote ourselves so diligently to others, leaving our own essence aside. We help, listen, and solve other people's problems, often even those we are not asked to solve. But at the end of the day, what is left for us? Like gardeners who water other people's gardens, we let our own flourish dry up. Stoicism teaches us that true discipline begins with caring for ourselves. As Epictetus wisely stated, if you want to progress, be content to appear ignorant and foolish in things that don't matter. This means having the courage to let go of what does not add value, to preserve what really matters: our physical, mental, and emotional health. Taking care of yourself is not selfish, it is an investment. There is no point in building an idealized life on paper if we lack the energy and mental clarity to live it. If our body is weakened and our mind is scattered, even the best opportunities become a burden. The first step in transforming your life is to start with the basics. Sleep, for example. A true Stoic knows that energy does not come from caffeine, but from consistent habits. Setting fixed times for sleeping and waking up is not a simple task, but it is an invisible and powerful discipline that generates real results. Another important point: limit your time on social media. What appears to be leisure can actually be a silent thief of your attention and energy. What's more, protect your mind from toxic content. Negative news, discouraging conversations, and incessant comparisons erode our clarity. Seneca once said, "Life is what our thoughts make it." When you choose to focus and take care of yourself, the world around you changes. You begin to make decisions more quickly, deal with pressure more calmly, and say no without guilt. Because after all, every yes given to others is a no given to yourself, and vice versa. Today, make a pact with yourself, a Stoic agreement to take care of your own garden so that it blooms and grows vigorously. Before trying to conquer the world, take care of your inner strength. Your mind is the temple, and your body is the armor. If these two foundations are weakened, no external strategy will be effective. How can you expect to overcome life's challenges if you don't have the strength to endure them? Real change begins within you. Today, write in the comments, "Today, I train my mind and body." This simple record is the first step in your journey of transformation. An unshakable mind begins with a strong body. This is a truth we often forget, living in a time where everyone seeks mental clarity and emotional resilience, but ignores caring for the body. We spend the day sitting, breathing shallowly, eating disorderly, and treating the body as if it were disposable. It's like asking a runner to win a marathon wearing worn-out sneakers. Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, knew that mind and body are inseparable. Even though he was the most powerful emperor in Rome, he devoted himself to physical training, not out of vanity, but out of strategy. He understood that a weak body weakens the mind, while a strong body strengthens courage, discipline, and patience. Seneca said that the body must be treated rigorously, so that it does not become too weak to serve the mind. Physical discipline, therefore, is not only about improving the body, but also about training the mind. Every physical effort, every run, every plank, every push-up repetition is in fact mental training. You are saying to yourself, "I know it hurts, but I will continue." This resilience training is not limited to the body, it transfers to all areas of life. A difficult project, a challenging conversation, or those days when motivation seems to disappear. True discipline is built gradually, not by intensity, but by consistency. Start with small steps, but be steadfast. The biggest mistake is to start with too much and give up quickly. It's not about doing a lot in a short time, but doing a little consistently over a long period. Method 2. Physical and mental discipline in Stoic philosophy. Practical ways to apply this discipline to the body include daily movement. Walk, stretch, climb stairs. The body was made to move. Short, high-intensity workouts, such as 10 to 20 minutes, can be more effective than hours of ineffective effort. Resistance exercises, such as push-ups, squats, pull-ups, and planks, not only strengthen the body, but also teach the mind to tolerate discomfort and maintain posture under pressure. In addition, conscious breathing is an essential practice for controlling emotions and regaining focus, as Epictetus taught. Exposing ourselves to voluntary discomfort strengthens the mind and spirit. Choosing the more difficult path, even when it is not mandatory, becomes training for the mind, which learns to endure much more than you imagine. Train in the cold, walk without distractions, carry a little more weight. These small daily actions shape not only the body, but also the mental strength necessary to face life with clarity and resilience. Modern science now proves what the Stoics already understood deeply. Physical exercise is not only beneficial for the body, but also for the mind. Movement releases neurotransmitters that increase mental clarity, reduce anxiety, and improve concentration. When the body moves, the mind clears itself of chaos. But more than that, physical discipline goes beyond the pursuit of a perfect body. It is the building of a solid foundation, capable of sustaining our goals and resisting the wear and tear of life. Every day, to the sound of the alarm clock, you face a small battle, stay in bed or get up. When training begins to challenge your limits, another struggle arises, stop or continue. These small, often invisible daily battles create mental patterns that are reflected in work, relationships, and all of life's challenges. The Stoic trains not only to improve his health, but to strengthen his mind, because, as he knew, if he does not master the body, he will never master the mind. Daily training is not a quest for physical perfection, but a way to sharpen the mind. Every effort, every breath, every drop of sweat is a victory over internal resistance. This skill transfers to any area of life, challenging projects, difficult conversations, or even those days when motivation seems absent. Don't wait for motivation, don't wait for the time to appear. Do it because it is necessary, just as the Stoics did. Sharpen your mind every day, regardless of whether there is a visible battle ahead. Method 3. Master the art of self-monitoring. Have you ever stopped to think about how often the greatest enemy is not outside but inside your own mind? Stoicism teaches us that to conquer the outside world, we must first conquer ourselves. And that conquest begins with the practice of self-surveillance, the ability to observe our thoughts, emotions, and actions objectively, like a calm judge evaluating their own behavior. Epictetus reminds us, things are neutral, it is we who paint them with our emotions. Living with clarity and discipline requires seeing what is inside us before reacting to the outside world. And that requires constant practice because the mind tends to operate on autopilot. We live at a frenetic pace, reacting without thinking, speaking impulsively, reaping regrets instead of reflection. When automatic behavior patterns are not monitored, they lead us down paths we did not consciously choose. Self-monitoring breaks this cycle, acting as an invisible mirror that reflects our reactions and decisions. Every time something happens, stop and ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Does this response come from reason or emotion? That small space between stimulus and reaction is what I call the golden second. That second can save relationships, avoid conflicts, and preserve your inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, practicing self-awareness through his meditations. He evaluated his actions, recognized his mistakes, and reinforced his virtues. Do the same. Write down the moments of the day when you acted on impulse and how you could have acted more wisely. Also observe the words you use when talking about yourself and others, as they reveal the quality of the thoughts you feed. A Stoic lives as his own guardian. He is both the commander and the soldier of his life. The commander evaluates, gives orders, and the soldier executes. Without vigilance, the commander becomes distracted, the soldier loses discipline, and the battle is lost. Self-vigilance keeps the command firm and conscious, bringing invisible but powerful benefits. You make fewer mistakes because you think before you act, you feel less anxiety, because you distinguish what you can control, and you convey more respect because you react calmly, even in tense situations. I challenge you to adopt a Stoic practice. During the next week, before saying something important, ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it true? Is it useful? And before making any decision, ask yourself, am I reacting with emotion or choosing with reason? You will be surprised at how often you act on autopilot. As Marcus Aurelius said, what prevents action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Self-awareness transforms every internal obstacle, such as anger, laziness, or pride, into a stepping stone for growth. Method 4. The practice of persistence. Everyone loves to start. Starting is easy. The excitement of the first day of training, the motivation to start a new project, the promise to change habits. But the real challenge, the one that separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up, is persistence. The problem has never been starting, but continuing. That is why so many goals are abandoned, so many promises are broken, and so many dreams fall by the wayside. And this is precisely where Stoicism reveals its power. Stoic philosophy is not for moments of fleeting inspiration, but for periods of continuous effort, without visible or immediate results. Persisting is not glamorous. It is not about quick rewards. Persistence is discipline, and as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, if it is bearable, then bear it. Stop complaining. These words may sound harsh, but they carry a liberating truth. Most of the things that make us give up are not unbearable. They are just uncomfortable. Persistence, then, is the art of enduring discomfort and moving forward, even when the urge to give up screams louder. It is not based on ignoring fatigue, but on learning to live with it without letting it control our destiny. What really makes us stop is the mistaken expectation that everything should be quick and easy. We live in a culture obsessed with instant gratification, where instant results are sold as the norm. But the profound truth is that nothing of lasting value comes from short-term effort. Seneca reminds us, if you want everything to go your way, you are deceiving yourself. You must want everything to go as it goes. This is not resignation to mediocrity, but an acceptance that real progress takes time and patience. To cultivate persistence, we need to redefine success. Success is not achieving the goal quickly, but continuing to move forward, even if that progress is slow. Think of a marathon runner. He doesn't run every mile as if it were his last. He manages his energy, maintains his pace, resists boredom and pain. That's what persistence is. A silent effort of daily endurance. And how do you train this skill? Start by breaking down big goals into small actions that can be repeated daily. The secret is not in intensity, but in consistency. Those who do a little every day achieve much more than those who try to do a lot at once and stop quickly. Create rituals that make it easier to keep going. Wake up at the same time. Follow a minimal routine even on difficult days. Periodically review your progress to remember why you started. Another essential point is to shield yourself from discouragement. This does not mean ignoring negative feelings, but not allowing them to control your decisions. On difficult days, instead of asking, why continue, ask yourself, what do I need to do now? Shifting the focus from emotion to action is a powerful technique. Epictetus teaches us that we do not control what we feel immediately, but we control what we do with those feelings. And here comes a powerful Stoic practice, long-term visualization. Imagine where you will be a year from now if you keep going. Now imagine where you will be if you give up today. This comparison brings clarity and renews your commitment. Persisting also means accepting that progress is not linear. There will be days when you feel on top of the world and others when you seem to have regressed. But Stoics do not measure the value of effort by the mood of the day, but by consistency along the way. A soldier does not abandon his post because it is raining. He remains because his mission is greater than his discomfort. The practice of persistence is about commitment to who you want to become, not how you feel at the moment. To persist is to continue training when no one is watching, to study when no one is demanding it, to work on your project when there is no applause. The true test of persistence is showing yourself, day after day, that you are greater than your excuses. If you want to live like a Stoic, adopt this motto. I don't stop because it's hard, I stop when it's done. This simple mindset, applied day after day, turns any distant goal into something inevitable. Method 5. Stop negotiating with laziness. Laziness is one of the most treacherous forces we face. It doesn't come like a storm, but like a soft whisper, offering seemingly reasonable justifications. You deserve to rest a little longer. It's okay to leave it until tomorrow. You're not in the mood today. These little whispers, when ignored, become a silent routine that sabotages our goals and dreams. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us to identify this inner voice before it turns us into passive spectators of our own lives. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled the Roman Empire, knew that this battle was a daily one. Upon waking up, he reminded himself of his mission. When I get up in the morning, I will say to myself, I will encounter meddlesome, ungrateful, arrogant people, but I cannot let that shake me, for I was not born to lie down, but to act. Marcus Aurelius understood that if he did not act, the world would not wait for him. The key to overcoming laziness is not to give space to the internal dialogue that tries to convince us to procrastinate. Laziness loves to negotiate. It tries to make you sit down and think a little more before acting. But the truth is that when we start negotiating with it, we are already losing. Like a skilled salesperson, laziness grows with every minute of dialogue. Therefore, the best way to deal with it is to cut off the debate and act. Epictetus, another great Stoic, said, "If it is time to act, many people confuse laziness with lack of energy, but the reality is that, in most cases, it is just mental resistance to discomfort. The body is capable, but the mind creates excuses to avoid the effort." A simple but effective method is to create small rituals to take the first step. If you need to exercise, put on your workout clothes before you think about starting. If you need to study, open your book or computer and put the material in front of you. The minimal initial action breaks the mental ice. In addition, laziness feeds on a lack of purpose. When we don't know why we're doing something, any effort seems like a burden. Seneca reminds us, "No wind is favorable to those who don't know where they're going." When you are clear about the reason behind your action, whether it's to improve your health, support your family, or develop a skill, even the simplest tasks become missions. And missions have the power to mobilize action. Also organize your environment to work in favor of action. Laziness feeds on distractions. If your cell phone is always at hand, if your bed is inviting during the day, if there is always something easier to do, the tendency is to give in. Organize your space so that the path to action is short and the path to distraction is long. A fundamental piece of advice: stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is unstable, but discipline can be trained. Wake up determined, like a Stoic who knows they have a duty to fulfill. Stoicism reminds us that action is a privilege. Being alive today means that we still have the opportunity to do something that will make us proud in the future. When laziness approaches, remember this: every time you give in, you are training your brain to give up faster. But every time you resist, you are strengthening the muscle of discipline. Overcoming laziness is not about winning one big battle at once, but about winning small battles every day. It is choosing to get up when you could stay down, to act when you could procrastinate, to finish when you could quit. By applying this, you will realize that laziness ceases to be a feared enemy and becomes just a shadow that you walk through without fear. Method 6. Structure your day like a wise Stoic. Life requires struggle. Each day in turn requires strategy. Those who forget this truth find themselves constantly losing ground. The Stoics knew that living with virtue and effectiveness does not happen by chance. To achieve these ideals, it is necessary to have a structure, a plan, a mental map that guides daily actions. Even as emperor, Marcus Aurelius did not leave his day to chance. He woke up early, reflected on the challenges he would face, and mentally prepared himself to deal with difficult people, unforeseen events, and important decisions. He knew the day would not be easy, but he armed himself with clarity to face it. This is the essence of living with purpose, structuring your day like a Stoic. It is not about being rigidly inflexible, but about avoiding being swept along by life without direction. The first key to this structure is to start the day with intention. Don't be tempted to reach for your phone as soon as you wake up. This is like opening the gates of a fortress and letting anyone in. When you wake up, take a few minutes to set your priorities. Ask yourself, what is truly essential today? If I accomplish only 3 things, which will have the greatest impact on my life or my work? Defining what is essential early on is a crucial step in avoiding the trap of spending the day putting out fires that are not yours. In addition, set aside blocks of time for specific tasks. The Stoics valued mindfulness, doing one thing at a time, with total presence. Seneca reminds us, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." This means that by trying to do everything at once, we end up doing nothing effectively. Organize periods for deep work, for responding to messages, for taking care of your body, and for resting. Protect these blocks as if they were urgent appointments. However, structuring your day also involves anticipating chaos. Life does not follow a perfect script, and the Stoics knew this. Epictetus taught that when we leave home, we should expect people to contradict us, plans to change, and problems to arise. By accepting this as a natural part of routine, we become less frustrated and act with more serenity. Having a plan does not mean believing that nothing will go wrong, but rather being prepared to adapt without losing focus. In the middle of the day, it is helpful to take short breaks to review your progress. Ask yourself, am I on the right track, or am I responding wisely to interruptions? These brief reflections prevent you from realizing at the end of the day that you have been working the whole time without making progress on your priorities. The Stoics practiced constant mental checks to keep their minds in the present. At the end of each day, they had a habit of evaluating their actions, like a soldier reviewing his battle. Sit down for a few minutes and reflect. What did I do well? Where can I improve? Did I stay true to my principles? This habit creates a cycle of continuous learning, where each day is not only lived, but analyzed and used as a basis for the next. Structuring your day like a Stoic is not about turning your life into a rigid schedule, but rather creating a space where your actions are guided by reason, not chaos. It's like building a river with firm banks. Within them the water flows freely, but with direction. Over time, this practice reduces stress, increases productivity, and strengthens your sense of control over your own life. In the end, what you are doing is simple but powerful. You are ceasing to be a hostage to your day and becoming its commander. Method 7. Burn the ship, eliminate escape, and commit to success. There is a powerful concept in history that can transform the way you view your goals. When ancient generals were about to enter a crucial battle, they made a drastic decision. They burned their own boats. This was not only an act of courage, but a strategy to eliminate any possibility of escape. Without boats, there was no turning back. There was only the option to move forward, fight, and win. This concept, burn the boat, is deeply Stoic. It's about eliminating escape, creating an unbreakable commitment to your journey. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "He who dares to leave the safety of the harbor and sail toward the unknown discovers the true strength of discipline." The idea of burning the boat is precisely this act of eliminating any possibility of turning back, of giving up. The true Stoic does not allow himself to make excuses. He eliminates the possibilities of giving up in a practical and strategic way. Why is this important? Human beings have a natural tendency to seek security and avoid discomfort. Escape is always within reach, whether in the form of an excuse, a distraction, or an easier alternative. But when you burn your boats, you commit yourself fully to the path ahead. There is no room for retreat. As Seneca teaches us, pain is fleeting, but the honor of having persisted will be eternal. When you eliminate the possibility of turning back, you create an anti-fragile mindset. You begin to grow stronger with each obstacle, because there is no longer the risk of giving up. True strength is born when there is no alternative. There is no if it doesn't work. Success only happens when you remove all possibilities of turning back and face the challenge with determination. Nietzsche, the great philosopher, had a powerful view on this. He said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When you burn your bridges, you create a why so strong, so solid, that there is no longer a reason to turn back. How can you burn your bridges in your own life? Eliminate alternative. If you are committed to a goal, remove any plan B from your life. This means saying no to distractions, attachments, and habits that do not lead you to your goal. Make irrevocable decisions. Instead of procrastinating, make choices that prevent you from taking steps backward. Make commitments with deadlines and unchangeable deadlines. Create a no-turning-back mindset. When you have an important choice to make, ask yourself, what would happen if I eliminated the possibility of failure? How would I behave if there was no turning back? The burn-the-boat method is about irreversible action, about putting yourself in a position where you no longer have the luxury of giving up. When you adopt this mindset, you begin to live like a true Stoic philosopher. Stoicism does not preach a life of comfort, but a life of overcoming. As Marcus Aurelius said, you are what you choose to be. And if you choose to be someone who does not back down, no storm can knock you down. Method 8. Evening evaluation. I learned the hard way that if we don't stop to reflect on the day, we end up living on autopilot. We repeat the same mistakes without even realizing it. For many years I went to bed carrying frustrations, broken promises, and unresolved issues. And what happened? When I woke up the next day, everything was the same. As if I was stuck in a cycle. That's when I discovered the power of a simple habit, nightly review. At first, I confess, I found it unnecessary. I thought to myself, why review the day? But when I started sitting alone before bed and asking myself sincere questions, I realized something fundamental. We don't grow because we don't listen to ourselves. And when we don't listen to ourselves, life passes us by and nothing changes. Today, this moment of reflection is almost sacred to me. It is the moment when I look at myself without masks, without excuses, without the stories I invent to justify my failures. I face the truth, even if it hurts. Like Seneca, who every night reviewed his day like a judge. He asked himself, what good did I do? Where did I fail? How can I improve? And I realized that it's not about blaming yourself, but about knowing yourself. If you don't realize where you went wrong, you'll make the same mistake tomorrow. If you don't recognize where you did well, you'll think nothing was worth it. This balance is crucial, recognizing what needs to change, but also celebrating what has already been done correctly. I ask myself 4 simple questions every night. Did I live according to my values today? Did I lose control at any point? Did I do anything that brought me closer to my goals? What can I do tomorrow to be better than I was today? These questions bring me clarity. I often find that even on a difficult day, there were small victories that I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't stopped to reflect. At first, this habit is uncomfortable. You find yourself wanting to escape this moment because you know you will encounter uncomfortable truths. But that's the point. It is this honesty that sets us free. When you look at yourself sincerely, not as an enemy, but as someone who wants to help you, you begin to make small changes that in the long run transform everything. Today, my nightly evaluation gives me peace. I sleep better because I don't take the chaos of the day to bed with me, and I wake up more focused, knowing exactly what I want to correct. It's like sharpening your mind every night, so you can enter the battlefield of the next day prepared. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be this. Before going to sleep, turn off the lights, grab a notebook, or simply close your eyes and have this conversation with yourself. It doesn't have to be long, just honest. Maybe at first you won't feel anything different, but before long you'll notice life begins to have more direction. You no longer wake up feeling lost, because each previous night prepares you for the next day. And remember, life doesn't require you to be perfect, but it does require you to be willing to improve. And that willingness is born in the moments when you stop, look at yourself, and decide to do things differently. Nightly evaluation is not just a habit, it is a commitment to your own evolution. We are the Antifragile Mindset channel, and our mission is to transform your mind, taking it out of its fragile state and helping it thrive in the face of chaos. If what you've heard so far has touched your mind, sparked reflection, or ignited a desire to change, then I want you to do 3 things right now, without hesitation. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content that will challenge your beliefs and strengthen your mind every day, turning difficulties into opportunities for growth. Leave your like, as this helps me know that this content made sense to you, and also allows it to reach more people who need this message of resilience and evolution. Leave a comment below. If you don't know what to write, just type anti-fragile mindset. That way I'll know you were with me until the last minute and that you are committed to your mental evolution. Before you leave, be sure to watch the videos I'm leaving here. Choose one and continue this journey of transformation. They can not only change the way you think, but also the way you live your life. See you there.